I'm joined by General Manager of Northern Railways, Shobhan Chaudhary, sir. Sir, first of all, Amrit Bharat station scheme, under which we have hundreds of stations all over India being redeveloped. First of all, I want to understand about the scope of this particular scheme here in Northern Railways, and if you can, just summarize as to what this scheme is and what this redevelopment, what is the scope of this redevelopment?
See, under this redevelopment scheme, which we have taken under Amrit Bharat station schemes, we are going to redevelop stations so that it is a futuristic station and it can take the load for next 30, 40 years, 50 years. So we have calculated the anticipated and projected footfalls, number of vehicles which will be coming to the station, and accordingly we are developing all facilities. Along with that, what we have kept in mind that we want that every station has its own culture, own history, own other important locations there. So keeping that in mind, we have developed the facade of each station of that, keeping these features in mind. So the facade building will be world class. We will have a wide 12-meter wide FOB, something kind of roof plaza, where we will have some retail facilities, holding area for the passengers, particularly passengers who are going to board the train. So they can go there, sit, avail the facilities of retail shops, and then when their train comes, they can, through escalators or staircases, they can go to their respective platforms. And that way, we will segregate both inbound and outbound passengers also. So it is basically we are taking redevelopment of the stations, keeping next 30, 40 years in mind, so that we have all facilities, modern facilities are available, our passengers can avail it, and stations required some inputs to be given, which are being given.
So this exercise is going on for last so many years, if I'm not wrong, because initially I remember IRSDC used to be the organization that used to carry out the redevelopment work. We have seen how Anand Vihar was initially given to that organization, and also New Delhi. Then we have RLDA of railways that was carrying out this particular work, and now you are saying that under new scheme, zones and divisions will be carrying out this particular work. Talking about this specific, zone, how many stations are there that are going to be redeveloped? Also, stations that have already been redeveloped. For example, we have Anand Vihar. So, are you counting these stations under this scheme as well?
No. This is not counted. So, stations which you have mentioned, they have been developed. So, we are not counting. For example, if you see right now, Safdarjung also work is going on. About 60-70% work is over. That also we are not counting. Okay. We are counting fresh stations where we are going to start the work. There will be approximately about 114 stations on Northern Railway. But out of this, on 71 stations where contract has been finalized, where we have agency to carry out the civil and electrical works, are getting the foundation stone ceremony is slated to be held on Sunday, in which Honorable Prime Minister will do the necessary शिलान्यास पूजा जो हम लोग कहते हैं वो करेंगे. तो ये अभी 71 stations we have taken up, 71 stations right now. These are not those stations which we are mentioning, which were taken up earlier, where work has been completed. They are not in this list.
And what is the deadline, if I can ask, about these 508 stations?
508 stations I will not be able to say, because 500 stations is spread over the Indian Railways, but of 71 stations which are on Northern Railway, since as I had mentioned you that we have all finalized our civil electrical contracts and everything is in place, they have started the work. So we intend to complete this within next 8 to 10 months.
So last question, any sort of features that are going to be the identity of this whole scheme? Because we know that you are focusing on passenger amenities. For example, you are working on facade, you are working on circulating area, you are working on holding area. You are also talking about that roof plaza and all other things. Any sort of features that you can just list so that we can get some sort of identity as to what this scheme is going to be?
Yeah. You have asked a very pertinent question. The main one thing which we are taking care is that we are developing both the sides. Generally, there is a complaint that one side of the station is developed, other side of the station. So both sides will be developing, and they will be connected through a roof plaza, which you have also mentioned. It will be a wide FOB kind of a thing with holding area, retail area. So that will be the, I should say that is the main thing which is there in this. In addition to that, we will be developing circulating area, parking area, lot of other things, lot of good standard signages will be given, so that any individual entering a station will be guided by the signages. He will not require to take help from other persons or some coolies. Generally what we do, ki coolie se pooch lo, ye pooch lo, those things to nikal.
Any deadline, sir?
Deadline is 8 to 10 months, I'm saying. That's what we are saying.
All right. So within next 8 to 10 months, we'll be having all these stations redeveloped, where the focus is on passenger amenities. This is what General Manager of Northern Railways has to say. With camera person Chintan, this is Akash Sharma for CNN News 18.